I have a
Yes.
fear the
Let's
camera's
do it.
going to go flip.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello. We are here again.
Later than usual. And I'm tired today.
We have intention, though.
Yes. Well, in Missouri, we've been having a lot of rain. And where we live, that can cause some issues. Because we live by a creek and, I don't know, just more stress. That kind of thing. So, you want to give an update on you and what's going on with you?
I'm still off the road and I'm never going on the road again. Yay. Cody and I are moving forward with Highlander business, and my trailer's been sold. I don't know. I've maybe said that. I don't know. Get my truck up and my tractor and get that sold. It's been a month and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
Since I made that phone call to corporate and said I'm done. And we're still, well, we're in a honeymoon. I am anyway. I'm still in a lot of gratitude, and I still wake up excited that I get to be in the same house as my family, my sweetheart, and at this point, Kyle and Cody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm extremely empowered being home, and been doing well. I'm on day 43 of the 75 hard, which is really, and I don't give all the credit to Andy like some people do. I make the daily choice, but he does have a nice checklist for the end of the day, which is what I appreciate, for all the goals that you set to keep yourself on track, and that's a really empowering thing. I have not, the only carbs I have eaten since, and this is day 43, is associated with dairy. Not one single piece of bread, not one single piece of pasta, cake, none of that. And that, I think, is huge. Got my man boobs shrinking and my muscular boobs expanding. So that's a plus. Amelia and I are working hard trying to get on track with where we're at personally. I mean, I've been, one of the things in the 75 hard is you have to read 10 pages daily, which I usually read 20 or 30, but I guess I'm an overachiever in that regard. But, well, I mean, I've been actually rereading a lot of this Heather and Ruiz 7 Secrets book, and it's just really the personal aspect of what they talk about in there. Doing the personal work is really powerful in that book, I think, and has a real nice, actually, I can read that.
Do you know where it's at?
Yeah, I know where it's at.
That's actually my book. His book's at the house.
Yeah, it's right. No, it's not that. It's right here. So this is one of the little, it's a commitment to self-intention is what they are referencing here. And they suggest saying the following out loud. And it's a pretty powerful little piece. It says, I commit to bringing a new relationship with myself into being. I commit to learning how to love myself in this moment and this time as I am. I commit to being compassionate and gentle and fiercely loving with myself. I commit to getting to know the being I am right now. I commit to no longer abandoning or rejecting myself. I commit to staying with myself on this journey of life at my pace and in my own time. And I swear to God, if everybody on this planet were to read that every single day to themselves, I think we'd, I don't know, we might all be experiencing unicorns and rainbows. So, anyway, it's rather
I don't think
self-empowering.
that's true.
Maybe I'm too optimistic. So, and then we have Miss Amelia.
Well, I continue to see changes in myself and my thinking and him, and how we relate to one another since he's made the decision to get off the road. The more I hear him tell me how much he cares about me, and reading this book and doing this work, and I don't think he was capable before, when he was on the road, to do a lot of personal work. I'm realizing that now. I always kind of wanted him to, or expected him to, and it just never happened. And one of the things we're realizing is that as we would come together as a couple when he was home, then when he would leave, it's a total energetic, it was for us a total energetic shut off. And it was hard to create momentum and move forward at any substantial pace because it would just seem like we started over as soon as he got home. Things wouldn't be sustaining in the time that he was absent. And so that is changing, and I'm noticing that change. The last couple of weeks, I feel like he's been pushy. He's just stating how he's feeling. I'm really realizing a whole lot of conditioning stuff, and how I'm trying to figure out how to uncondition or recondition.
Reprogram.
Yeah, it's a new, the neuro pathways need to change, and you do that by changing your patterns of behavior. The trust thing, I think, is one of my core issues, and making my word law, which is one of Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, is, I think, one of the best ways to start to establish trust with yourself. Establish trust with myself. And so that's, I'm kind of coming back to what's in my boat, what's in my court to be looking at. And he asked me earlier, did you ask me if I get triggered daily?
Yes.
Was triggered the word?
Yes.
Okay, because we had read something, and I don't feel like I get triggered daily, but I also feel like I'm shut down and numb still a lot of the time. So I'm trying to be more in my life and to take time to sit and be with myself. So it's there's some hard work going on at the moment, and I don't know, it's not easy, but we are still reading in this. We're about halfway through. One of the things I wanted to read, we're on this chapter about egos. Our projections and our internal emotions that we externalize onto others are messages from our shadow self. And so I've been trying to do shadow work for a couple years now. And I'm very aware, and I think Roger is too, of when we're projecting onto someone else. And we're good at standing in the fire with each other and to say to each other, okay, I hear what you're saying. Is that a projection? Is that something you're dealing with? Is that something that you're seeing in me, but it's really an issue that you need to look at? We don't come, either one of us come to this work as virgins, so to speak. We have done, both of us, a lot of work. So I found it interesting because I was asking Roger yesterday or the day before yesterday, how do I reprogram? Like, one of my programs is men are pigs. And that has shadowed my entire relationship with him.
I happen to be a man, so ipso facto.
Yeah. Do you have what is your programming? What is some of your programming?
Well, there's a lot of them. I was just trying
to think. Like, from your trauma, what's some of the programming that came out of your trauma?
Well, abandonment is probably one of my biggest issues since my mother left when I was 6 or 7, and
what about abandonment of self?
Well, that's
isn't that interesting yet?
An aspect of, and that's what I did do. Those of you that I've had that epiphany, the running the road was just literally me being on autopilot. I mean, I could do all the stuff that needed to be done to make that business work, and I had a rather complex trucking business in that I moved people, and so there were a lot of aspects to it, and it took a lot of my mental capabilities to keep everything in line and all that, and so I did pretty much abandon myself and just focused my energy out there when I was on the road. And I'm
really changing.
Oh, it's changing hugely. I mean, just the 75 hard is a good example of how much I'm changing it, and the work that I'm doing to, the rewilding that we do on a regular basis, getting in touch with nature, is something that I had lost track of. I had abandoned that aspect of myself, and that was what I grew up. I mean, I am an Eagle Scout. I was in the woods a lot when I was young, and so getting back to that is huge in respect to my, my self work that we both, and we have, it's become apparent that we both have personal work to do, and it's also become apparent that with us both in the same house at home, the dynamics are hugely different. And I think the other aspect of all that is that we really and truly both do have the same goal, and that is, in the words of, oh my goodness, my brain. Not Randy Travis. Help me make it.
B.J. Thomas.
B.J. Thomas. Help me rest his soul. He passed away recently.
Yes.
Help me make it to the rocking chair. And we sit on our front porch now in our rocking chairs watching the birds, which is ironic and interesting, because when I was 17 years old, I remember hearing that song, and she and I would listen to it, and I remember writing her a note that's probably in a box somewhere in the memorabilia that where I say, I want to help you make it to the rocking chair. So we've come full circle, and I think that is our goal now that I've had 30 years of basically abandoning myself in a lot of ways. So
You still got stuff on your arm.
I know. Our couch is having a little bit of scabies. So
the plastic is coming off.
Yeah. It's not a leather couch, it's a pleather couch, and the pleather is giving up. So
one of the big things that happened this past week is
I cannot read the time. Can you? It's right on my shirt.
It says 15:23.
Oh, we're doing okay.
Is he wants to be sexual. I feel like, and I think what I got to the other day was that I can't. It's not a choice for me right now in my healing. I can't. It's not a matter of just making up my mind and saying, "Oh yeah, I can go do that." He was saying you don't want to, and I was trying to find my voice, and finally it was like it's not that I don't want to. I want to be able to, but I can't right now. It's like if I think the analogy that I made was if a person is say they were in a car accident and they're dead from the waist down. They want to be able to be intimate and vulnerable and close and sexual, but their physical body can't. At least from the waist down, they can't. I feel the same way that my physical body is fine. It works just fine. It can do whatever I tell it to. It's my emotional, my spiritual, my psychological body that is healing at the moment. And it would be, at this point, detrimental. And I used to do this in my life with him. Just to have sex. Just do it. Just get it over with. Just do it and be done with it. Don't be present. Go in the corner of the room. Go up in the corner of the room. Disassociate. I've lived my life disassociating. And now it's time to really get in touch with my emotions and my feelings and trying to find my voice. And he was saying the other day when we were walking afterwards, we had gotten into something, I don't even remember what it was, but he had said that sometimes he's not going to say it right. He's not going to have the right words. He's not going to say it right, and he's going to need permission. He's going to need space to back up and come at it again. And I'm the same way. It's like sometimes I can't find the right words, and I can't say it the way I want to say it, or it comes out, I don't know, with anger and resentment and frustration, which I'm sure all of those, this kind of work gets really complicated. And it's like there's so many layers and so many pieces, and once you pull one piece out, then other pieces move, and you stick another piece back in, and everything has to adjust again. And so it can be rather exhausting. I think that's where I've been the last couple of weeks. It's just really exhausted. I'm not giving up, and I'm not stopping or whatever, but I think it's good to take breaks, mental breaks, even, just daily, to just sit and be in doing this kind of work. And he and I are of the agreement that there is an end to the work. This gal, Nicole, and a lot of other people in the psychology area think that you will always have work to do. You will always, and I don't believe that. I do believe that once we can integrate all our parts, we don't have to keep doing work. Most of our days can be spent in joy and mindfulness and peace and quiet. That's kind of liking that idea lately. All right. So, anything else? I'm actually really kind of excited. He said this too, but our next chapter is on trauma bonds, chapter 9.
Yeah, because we both have, well,
I want to understand trauma bonds better, um, so that I can apply them, apply that knowledge to my own healing. Um, and I think I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, that trauma bonding, and see, this is where my education isn't totally clear. He and I bonded because of our trauma bonds. We didn't bond to each other because he caused me trauma or I caused him trauma. I think there's different kinds of trauma bonding, because I think you can bond to, like, I could bond to the men that took me from the babysitter's house when I was a kid. Um, that's a kind of, I think, kind of trauma bonding. And then he and I got together when I was 15 and he was 17. And a lot of trauma had happened by then to both of us. And so, out of those wounded places, we connected. And a lot of it being unconscious, because I didn't have my memory surface about my sexual abuse until I was 30. I knew about the alcoholism and all of that that's in my family, that was in my family, and other things. And you knew about the divorce. It wasn't like you didn't know that your parents got divorced. So by the time he was 17, by the time I was 15, a lot of shit had gone down. So we kind of reiterated that whole piece of how I got attracted to him, and men were just not something I wanted anything to do with, really. And I put him on a white horse, and Brene Brown talks about this, and it was like, you need to stay on the horse, because that's my safety piece. And then when he cheated, it was like, holy shit, he's just like every other male. And I think what I did emotionally was just totally shut down. And what we talked about yesterday, I think it was yesterday, is the way that we bonded when we were 15 and 17 was not healthy. And I don't want to go back to that. We need to create new from now moving forward, a new relationship, a new kind of love for one another. So that's where we're at. That's where I'm at.
I don't know what I could possibly add.
You're looking forward to the next chapter as well?
Yes.
There's so much in both these books that you could read them, each one of them individually, for over a year, and just reread and reread and reread.
This one I've been doing a lot of rereading on in the self-care area, just because that's where I'm focusing on our relationship, is with...
Yawning on camera.
Is that not a good... Is that foreboding?
I was told as a child that's rude. I should cover my mouth.
I was drinking on camera, but I have, like, in the 75 Hard, those of you that don't know it, you have to drink a gallon of water a day. And so I'm a little behind today, so I got to catch up a little bit. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the part of this book that I find extremely compelling at the moment is the self-care stuff. And there's about 30 or 40 pages, and I've probably read 4 or 5 times, some of which I just read that little excerpt. But anyway, yeah, I don't know that I have anything else further to add, and we are going to... Tell me what we're doing with Misty.
Oh, I don't even... We'll have to report on that. We're seeing a friend of ours that does a couple... she's doing relationship something or other. We have a session next Monday at 7.
We don't know what the hell it is. She plays bowls.
She does sound therapy.
Yeah. Okay. She plays bowls.
And a lot more than that. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what the session entails. So we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
We're going with open hearts, and
yeah,
we'll see where
that goes.
And we will be here on the same channel. What is today? Today's Monday.
At the end of June. It's the 28th.
And so when are we going to see Misty?
The 5th. Next Monday.
So let's shoot to have our next video done like next Tuesday or so.
Okay.
We will shoot to have our next video done after we go see Misty.
Alrighty.
And that's after everybody plays 4th of July, and I'll be home for 4th of July.
Yes.
Because I don't run the road anymore. And believe me, there were very few 4th of Julys I was actually home for.
Yep.
In the movie business, so. All right.
So, like and share.
Share and
like. I am so not good at this YouTube channel thing. Like, how to promote myself.
It's all good.
Alrighty.
We're done.
We'll see you later. Have a good evening.